Good evening for what is the third and final time this evening here at SRL. We hopefully have sorted the issues. We hopefully have got rid of the riffraff. I just want to make drivers perfectly clear, if this happens again, then the entire race will be blacked, flagged. Mr. AFL, it's been a long evening. We are on one-shot qualifying. Did you think at 9:10 we would still be here trying to get a qualifying session underway?
I did not, to be honest.
Did you have plans?
Obviously, yes, I did. But obviously, it's all good. It's just a bit annoying. And I feel for obviously yourself and all the other drivers that are racing tonight.
Don't need to feel sorry for me. What I feel sorry for is the drivers that have given up their time.
Exactly.
To race, and all
but
it
yourself
takes...
as well. You've given up your time as well to sort this out as well. I'm sure you could be doing better stuff with your evening as well.
Oh yeah, probably could be, but it's one of those where it's... I believe we have now dealt with the riffraff. I believe we have now dealt with everything.
That's good. Fingers crossed, and now we can get this session started, and we can have a good race as well. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're looking forward to, is a good race. Yeah,
exactly. That's what these boys are here. The best bit about all this is Wesley, who was originally unable to race in the Mercedes, the new driver for Mercedes, has now been able to join.
This is lucky though.
Well, 14 drivers have now hit the grid, so we've kissed goodbye to a few people, and hopefully, now, at long last, we've got rid of the riffraff. Nobody has joined, so I do believe, AFL, we can finally, at long last, get underway. It is now one-shot qualifying. I want to cry, I'm not going to lie to you, mate. So, Mark has disqualified himself because he has got a quali ban. Well done. Thank you, Mark, for sticking to that. It is greatly appreciated. It's just...
I can't lie, if I was Mark, I probably would have forgotten. Because there's been so many restarts. So fair play to him.
It's just been nightmare fuel this evening. For anyone that is watching, thank you for tuning in again. You don't know how much it really does mean. I'm going to assume we're not going to get many viewers this week, and you know what the worst of it is? This is my favourite track.
Well, once again, evening, guys. Good luck, Mark, Red Heart, and good luck. Everyone, party popper.
No, you can't. Thank you, Danielle. You are a little gem for constantly coming to see us. The buzz has gone a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to get it back to the main race, because one-shot quali, you can't really comms over one-shot quali, if I'm honest.
No, you can't.
So we'll go through what's going on in a minute. So Dean got pole in all of that, Dan came second, Phantom Nug came third, Rabbi came fourth, Wesley came fifth, Scott came sixth, Tom came seventh, Jess came eighth, Atom came ninth, Lucas came 10th, Angie came 11th, then you've got Stephen Jenkins came 12th, and Mark Wilson and Rahman both got DSQ'd. So yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
It is what it is.
So, for those that are watching, we have had a awful... What happened, we had people keep constantly joining that's not part of the channel. That's what's happened. So, we're underway for the third attempt at round 2. And the drivers, I tell you what though, the drivers are getting their wish. It's constantly trying to chuck it down with rain today. That's why it's been a...
It looks overcast as well.
It is overcast, so it's going to be interesting. So the drivers are setting their strategy now. They are under racing orders to wait for the ready up. What are you expecting from today's race, AFL? I was expecting to be in bed by now.
I just want a race, to be honest. My expectations are low.
I don't.
Do you know who did this?
Just want a race. Just want to commentate for a good race. Nothing more, nothing less.
No, Jaro, I don't know who did this. But, nothing can be done about it now. Well, it is 5 lights out, and it is away we go any second. Here we go, 5 lights out and away we go, and it's a great start here for Dean, who gets away quite nicely. It's a great start.
Great start from Dean. And take that position into turn 1. Just hope everybody gets through. It's been a clean getaway for everybody.
Oh, Jenkins has got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Tom. That could be something maybe to look at.
Angie's lost their front wing as well.
Jenkins, I got it. Would you say Angie's lost? Virtual safety car has been deployed.
Front wing, yeah.
Bit of an interesting strategy between the 14 drivers that has remained. Seems a bit sus that was a new comment from someone.
What was the comment?
It was a first time comment from someone who's never watched my channel before, asking do we know who's done it? I think I know who's done it. Wow. The SC is underway, and I do believe we finally got rid of the riffraff, so we're going to get underway with full-on racing.
So let's obviously focus on the 14 drivers that are here.
Yeah, let's focus on the 14 that have survived the mass purge.
Can have a few boxing, I believe. Yeah, Angie pitting.
Yeah, so there's been damage that has happened to a couple of the drivers. Dan is currently leading. Dean and Phantom Nug in 2nd and 3rd. Wee Rabby in 4th. Severe Scott in 5th. Wesley has made his way up to 6th. Jess is having a bit of a battle with, by the looks of it, Baby Driver. We're going to jump on board with these two and find out how well it is going. Remember, Jess is a reserve driver in the Ferrari at this precise moment. She has come off track, but she's done the right thing and let Baby Driver pass because she did gain the advantage. Now that is clean sportsmanship that I like to see at its finest. Angie is up to 11th, Jenkins is down to 12th, Mark Wilson obviously with a quali ban is now in 12th, and Jenkins drops to 13th, and Heavenly Verizon is in 14th.
Yeah, I believe those guys at the back did have to pit for damage, so hopefully they can get back into this race. It's a long race anyway, 31 laps to go, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, you are right indeed, mate.
But so far, for Dan, clean getaway from him.
It's been a very clean getaway. Sorry, I was just taking care of a couple of little admin things behind the scenes to hopefully so we don't have to have any more of that happen again. But apart from one VSC, it's been a pretty good race, to be fair. So far, 3 laps in, 30 to go.
Yeah, DRS is now activated, so we may see a few more changes on the grid.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to do a lot of hard admin work.
Sector 1, yellow flag in sector 1. Oh, that's cleared now.
This week. Tomorrow when I get home from work, it's going to be a lot of admin work. Severe Scott is up to P4. There's a little bit of a battle going on at the moment. Wesley getting past by the looks of it. Beautifully done. He's taking the inside, but this is the dreaded corner where everyone can potentially spin out. They're taking it nicely and clean. Oh, but there's a... Oh, that wasn't clean from Merman. And Severe Scott got disqualified from that. That's not his fault. And that is one for the stewards to definitely review. And we have got a yellow flag at the back of the grid.
For Scott there,
no,
though.
That's unfortunate on Scott. That isn't his fault. That is one for the stewards to definitely review. Scott, if you are watching, mate, do get that in.
To watch 9 before return to stream.
What's with all the ads? I'd have to watch 9 before return to stream. I've got no idea, if I'm honest. I didn't even know I was getting ads on my channel. I do greatly apologise. I'll take a look at the settings, but I didn't realise I had ads on. I didn't think I'd qualified on Twitch for ads at this point. Oh, I must be doing well then if I'm getting ads. Is that how it works? Is that how I get revenue on Twitch?
I've had a bit of a spin.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
1/2. Wee Rabbi. It's facing the wrong way. He's down to P8.
May have to consider maybe trying to move this to YouTube, if needs be. I think it might be a YouTube jobby from now on, possibly. I'll get on it throughout, because next week is break week. We haven't got any racing scheduled next week, because I am away in London for my dad's 58th birthday. I'm taking him to watch England play Fiji at Twickenham, so I won't be around. Wee Rabbi picking up a 3-second time penalty. He'll be picking up the first second penalty of today's session. The stewards are going to have fun this week. Well, Dan is comfortably out in front. Dean is desperately trying to catch up. Phantom Nug not far behind them. Merman, the one that potentially took Severe Scott out of the session, he will be the main man of everybody's. Wesley desperately trying to catch up. Baby Driver in 6th. Atom in 7th. It's always nice to see Atom doing well. Wee Rabbi in 8th. Jess, the reserve driver, in 9th. And Mark Wilson bringing up the rear for the final of the point drivers in P10. Angie not far behind, but we've just got her going wide, but no real advantages gained there, so it ain't going to matter too much. Heavily Verizon is desperately trying to catch up in 12th. And Jenkins, the new boy on the block, is currently down in P13. It is a shame that his very, very first F1 23 session has been ruined by trolls. But we will continue. Still we rise. We will get the riffraff sorted this week, and the majority of our full-time drivers should be back.
A wild Bonsley appears catch it using Poker Catch, winners revealed in 90s.
Right, AFL, let's see if we can see any interesting battles. Seems to be a small battle going on, with Jess trying to hunt down Wee Rabbi.
Yeah, I was literally
95,
looking at
you
that.
don't own that ball. Check the extension to see your items.
Jess seems to be a bit quicker than Rabbi at the moment. Rabbi did spin a couple of laps ago, so maybe he's just trying to get his tyres back up to temperature. But yeah, we may see an overtake now, because Jess could be within that DRS zone.
Yeah, she could be, and it's probably going to be quite striking very, very shortly.
I say this all the time, but I do love that last corner. It's just
such a nice corner.
Great corner.
The Williams getting past the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin just beat yellow flagged. He's currently down in 13th. Bear me 2 seconds. Little decided to escape. AFL, the show goes for you. We are on board with our leader.
Let's have a look. So, yeah, Dan's got a 1.6 second lead at the moment, 1.7 now. But I do believe he is on the soft tyre compared to Dean behind. Yep, Dean is on medium tyre, so the tyre offset at the moment would be maybe a couple attempts in Dan's favour. But again, the delta will keep changing, and Dean should be the quicker one sooner rather than later, just because the softs do wear out very quickly around here. Obviously, it's a difficult track with lots of straights and lots of corners and high and medium speed corners, so that's going to put a lot of stress in the tyres, especially the front right. So yeah, we shall see how this will play. And obviously you've got Phantom behind, who's not too far behind these guys, who's in a prime position. If anything does happen between the top two, he can hopefully take advantage in Mercedes. But yeah, so far Dan is doing a great job. Got a great start. Obviously had that virtual safety car at the start, but hasn't looked back since. So he's doing a great job. But yeah, the field is a bit spaced out. Obviously, you have the guys at the back from, say, P10 onwards. But if there are any sort of safety cars or anything like that, they should be back in the fight with everybody. And there's some quick drivers at the back there as well. So hopefully they can make their way through the field. So far, obviously it's been an eventful evening, but the race has been so far so good. Obviously don't want to jinx anybody. Obviously we've had Severe Scott retire or be disqualified through no fault of his own. But yeah, other than that, it's not been bad. But Jess is right on the back of Wee Rabbi's gearbox at the moment, so wondering if they can make a move. That last corner, it's like if you're in the toe of somebody, it's literally like a slingshot. I'm sure Jess is going to make the move now. Yeah, he was ahead even before the DRS zone, and they still get DRS as well. So yeah, that's a great move by Jess up into P7. Just wondering whether they can get
I'm back.
all of it now and get past Atom.
Little one's refusing to sleep tonight, so it's been one thing after another tonight. Poor Jess, my Jess I should say, is currently having a later than him there. I did ask her to jump on comms, but Jess isn't the most confident of people when it comes to comms, unfortunately. So I'm back. I'm going to try and keep my voice down low, so if it does appear that I've gone quiet, people, it is purely because just in case I was being a bit too loud. So we are on board with Wee Rabbi versus in-game Jess, I should now say. So there's two Jesses. There's Head Steward Jess, and then there is Jess, Driver Jess. Have I missed anything while I've been gone, mate?
Jess has got past Wee Rabbi. That was what I was watching. Other than that, I haven't really seen much changes, to be honest. Wee Rabbi did make a audacious move, which Jess had covered and just done the switchback, but other than that, no. It's been quite a race so far. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, we are 9 laps in out of 33, so get comfortable because we're going to be here for a long, long time, people. And it's only taken us until 25 minutes past 9 to get to lap 9 of the Portugal Grand Prix. The session started at 8. Well, it's been a bit of a bummer this evening. I do apologise to people if I don't sound as enthusiastic as I have done the last couple of weeks. It's purely because it's been one of them days. We've had trolls, we've had people trolling in the Twitch, and we've got Little Un running around like a madman in the background. So it's potentially could be one of them where it keeps getting streamed. Well, the stream may end abruptly if it needs to, but the race will continue if needs be. It is a shame because Portugal is one of my favourite tracks, and I've actually looked forward to this all week. You don't know how much I've actually looked forward to.
You have. But let's not think about the negatives right now.
No, we can't think about the negatives.
We've got a race on our hands.
We have, and we're 10 laps into that race at the moment. Yeah. Wesley, our current championship leader, is trying to battle his way back up to the top. He's currently P5. Jenkins, our new boy on the block, and I say new boy, I mean quite literally new boy. He bought the game. It's him, actually, Billy. I feel bad for all of our drivers, don't get me wrong. But out of all of them, the one I feel bad for most of all is Jenkins. He spent 60 quid on this game yesterday to be here now. 60 quid of his own money to be on the grid racing. And his first race has been ruined by trolls. But luckily for him, he has been made into a full-time driver, so he'll be back here in 2 weeks' time when we go racing around Qatar. And hopefully, we will have assessed. We are going to be having a mass turnout in the Discord. So, hope to God that you are not one of those that potentially may be getting boot. Right then, anyway, moving on to lighter things. Mark Wilson has a little bit of a tail-happy moment there, but he's recovered well. It is coming up to what was called Scott's Corner in SRL, and that is heavily Verizon. He's pulled into the garage and he's called it a day, and there's a bump there between a Haas and a Williams, and doesn't appear to be any damage on the Williams. I don't know about the Haas, but it looks like fine. Maybe a love tap. I can't blame Lucas, to be fair. He's called it a day. To be fair, he did say to be behind the scenes, but
Then there were 12.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have had a message come through on Discord from an unknown user. Hello, mate. I apologise for joining today's session today. Big apologies to you and sorry for destroying today's lobby, but I didn't want to crush anyone. I haven't destroyed anyone and I haven't disturbed anyone. I only wanted to have some fun driving with other people and just drive. But despite this, sorry, forgive me. Take care.
We've had another retirement in the pits. Yeah, Angie called it a day.
Yeah, I don't blame them, to be fair. It is getting pretty late on in the session, and Angie is a full-time driver who has stepped up. Well, when I say stepped up, she's joined, and yeah.
Missing a few races tonight.
We are missing a few races, unfortunately. Quite a lot of the full-time drivers are on holiday at the moment, with it being summer holidays, so a lot of the reserve drivers have stepped in to take in their places, and unfortunately caught up in that was a couple of people that have infiltrated, and there's no other way of putting this, ruined today's round. For a lot of the drivers, for a lot of the reserve drivers. And yeah, it's been one of those, but the race must go on. We are 1/3 of the way through the race at the moment. We've still got plenty of action left to come. Angie's retired. A message in the Discord says that she's hurt her wrist, and obviously, if you're watching, Angie, I hope your wrist is okay. Obviously, drop me a private message if you need to, and we can go from there. We have got a spin in sector 1. I believe that's from Dean. Dean has spun a little bit. He's still down in P3 at the moment, but he will have Wesley now. We'll see that to his advantage and we'll be trying to catch up. Atom is having a spectacular race. He's currently P5. Merriman has come in for his first pit of the session and possibly will be his only one on hard tyres. It's been an interesting one, but Dean, I understand. Obviously, don't worry, you're not going to get any sort of penalisation for not returning to the lobby. You did attempt to race, and I do fully understand. You will literally just no, Dean, you don't need to apologise, mate. It's understandable. Like me and AFL have said all evening. You give up your time on a Saturday, you expect it to be done by a certain time. Didn't expect to be still racing here at this point. I mean, AFL had plans, I'm certain of it. Normally by now I'm helping get Little and settled down completely as well. It's just everything's been blown out the window today. So Dean, don't worry, no penalties are coming your way this evening. The only penalties the stewards will be looking at is the people that have been affected by other people on track at the moment.
Not Dean, mate, it's Bracy.
Not Dean, sorry, Bracy. It's been one of them evenings. Sorry, Bracy. Sorry. It's been a long day. No, we don't have two Deans. It's been a long day. I'm not gonna lie, the motivation for this race has been killed a bit, and it's my favourite track.
No stress, my guy.
No. AFL will tell you throughout this week. I've been talking about it with him. I've been looking forward to it, and it's just not there tonight. But don't worry, in 2 weeks' time, the passion will be back. And as we get underway with Qatar in 2 weeks' time, are you looking forward to Qatar, AFL? Because obviously you didn't get the chance to comms it with me on Thursday night in CRL.
Yeah, but from what I did see in your commentary, which you did a fantastic job, I must say, on your own, it looked like a good race. I'm hoping here it will be a good track as well. Good track and a good race.
It should be, and I can only hope that it's going to be. But 15 laps in, and we've had a bit of a... Let's see what the position changes are at the moment, shall we? I do feel bad for everyone today. I may even... Unless it's like a deliberate penalty, I may even just waiver all of the no-shows today. Just because the track's already been ruined enough today. We don't want to ruin anybody else's race, let's face it. So, interval, penalties, tyre. It stops we want to look at. No, it's not. It's position change. So, Phantom Nug is up 2. Dean is down 1. Wesley is up 2. Dan is down 2. Merriman is up 9. Jess is up 2. Mark is up 6. Mighty Adam's up 1. Wee Rabbi's down 5. Baby Driver's down 3. And Jenkins is up 1. Remember, we award points all the way down to P10, just like in actual F1. But the show must continue. Me and AFL, we're always going to be here. We're always going to get the job done. Right then, let's go and find a battle somewhere, shall we? I think it's pretty spaced out at the moment.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's all nice and spaced out. It's pretty much just a battle at the moment. We've got Wesley coming in. We'll stay on board with him. Have you got any decent memories of Portugal from races past at all, AFL?
Not very great memories, to be honest. I did mention it earlier on in one of the
many streams.
2 or 3 streams we had that, yeah, I had a incident with my teammate around here when I was going for the win in one of the leagues I was racing in, which wasn't great. But other than that, no, I don't have fond memories of this track racing. I do have fond memories of real F1, obviously. Lewis Hamilton has won twice around here in 2020 and 2021. So yeah, I've had good memories of watching real F1 here, but racing here I have not. But who's to say in the future I might have better memories. What about yourself?
I've got a good memory, so we'll jump on board with the guy that it's with. So it's as he goes for a bit of a spin, it's turn 1. It's potentially commentator's curse there at that point. I'm really sorry, Tom, but it was with Tom, and we went to the gaming arena in Sheffield, and we went to go play F1 22, and it was in the dying stages of F1 2022, and quite literally, we got in. We did Saudi Arabia first because it's one of Tom's favourite tracks, and then we did Portugal. And the guy that was obviously on shift that day, he saw that we were racing, he saw that we were having hard races. He came up to us just before we started Portugal, and I went to go grab a drink at the time. Obviously, I could overhear the conversation, and he said to Tom, he went, "So which one of you two boys is going to win Portugal?" And Tom literally just turned around and went, "Him." And he went, "What do you mean him?" He went, "He always wins Portugal when me and him race together." So,
it's just your track, isn't it?
It's where I go to when I'm stressed. It's where I go to when it's where I like to unwind after a long day at the office, or it is my go-to track. I love it to pieces because it's complex, it's great, the twists and turns are great, there's different levels of elevation, there's a bit of everything in this track, to be fair, and that's why I like it so much, because it really, really, really does test you to the absolute limits.
Yeah, I think you could have done with racing after the issues we've had tonight with the streams and all the issues. Probably would have been good for you to be racing here.
If I was allowed to race in my own street league, I definitely would do, but I've elected not to race in my own league, purely so I can watch these boys go at it one by one. And it's great because it means I get the comms duty, I get to see all these people that have come to race, and I get just as much enjoyment watching these guys race. But the thing is, I do jump in with them when they're doing social races on an evening. So I am about, so it's Wednesday's my dedicated SRL social night. So I'm always about on a Wednesday. So we've had a bit of a yellow flag in sector 1. I believe it's for one of the McLarens. It's not
it
for,
was
it's for
Baby
Tom.
Driver.
Yeah, Tom's had a bit
he
of a wobble.
had a little bit of a snap.
Yeah, it's not been the best of races today, people. And but we'll persevere. We'll take a week off, and then we'll come back. So Dean is now back up to P1. He's having a bit of a battle with Phantom Nug. Let's stick on board with these two because it is heating up. Phantom Nug really doesn't want to let Dean out of his sight. It is a shame because it's what it is though, I guess. I mean, at least we've got racing underway now. Dean has decided to come in for pits. What are we predicting from Dean? What's he going to jump on board for? I'm expecting hards, if I'm honest. What about you, mate? What are you thinking?
For who are you thinking?
Dean.
He could possibly go soft, you know.
And he has gone for soft. Jenkins has retired. He's come into pits and he's called it a day. I don't blame him. I'm just going to send him a message.
So now everybody, if they do complete, I think it's 75% of the race, they will be awarded points.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean's come out on the soft tyre, so that's going to be one fast Williams now for the rest of the race.
I've just sent a message to Jenkins apologising about his first race because I do feel bad because he's spent 60 quid to get the game and be on the grid today, and I feel like he might as well just burnt his money. The show goes on. 10 drivers remain. These 10 drivers, so long as they finish the race, will get points. But is what it is, I guess. Right then, so Phantom Nug has come into pit as well now. He's going for a set of softs.
Terrible race for me. Really got taken out of it with all the shit.
Yeah, we've got a nice little battle. Oh, that was, I don't know if you saw that between Phantom Nug and Dean. That's going to be one potentially for the stewards to look into at the end of the race. That was, our two soft boys had a bit of a bump on turn 2.
Yeah, Dean's just made the overtake now.
Yeah, he's back up to P3. Dan is now currently leading in first position on them new mediums, so the McLaren boys will be happy. Merman, the new Red Bull driver, he is currently sitting P2. He'll be happy with his first race. Obviously, then we've pretty much the reserves are gone at this point. The majority, I think everybody that's actually on the grid apart from Jess.
My race was thrown in turn 2 thanks to the 2 Red Bulls.
Any incidents you've got, obviously if you've got the clip, get it submitted into stewards. We are still going to be reviewing footage tomorrow night. The stewards will obviously come together and we will take a look at absolutely everything. So yeah, if you've got any footage, definitely still get it in submitted because it still needs reviewing. Anything like that still needs doing. Dean goes fastest with a 1 minute 19.1. He'll be really happy with that, but I'm not surprised though because he has now got them softs on. There's going to be a battle for the fastest lap between all soft runners. Mark Wilson has come in for softs as well. Jess has also come in for softs. Baby Driver has opted for hards though.
It's an interesting strategy.
Very, very interesting. Phantom Nug is also on side. I've already said that. Let's jump on board with Phantom Nug. He's still staying close to Dean at the minute. I'm tempted not to put this video on YouTube as well, by the way. Just because I don't think it's good.
I think you should.
You think I should still put it on?
Yeah. because not every week can be perfect.
No, it can't. You are right, but it's...
And obviously it's your hard work as well, so
yeah, I suppose you're
you
right.
should show it off.
Suppose you're right.
Had a bit of a swap. Phantom is now got into P3 ahead of Dean. I think these two could be having a bit of a ding-dong for the next couple of laps as well. And they are catching P2 Merman as well on those 9-lap-old hard tyres, so he could be a sitting duck with these two soft runners behind him. But let's see anyway.
Yeah.
Because he does have track position, and track position is always key. And as I say that, he does get a bit of a tank slapper.
Yes, Dean's dropped down to 3. Phantom Nug's moved up to 2. Dan, very comfortably now, 16 seconds in front. Mark Wilson's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Baby Driver, I believe, it's just madness at this point.
He's just vibesing, mate.
Oh, mate, he knows he's getting a point at least. He just needs to...
Yeah. Just keep it on the track.
Exactly. I don't know if he's been lapped or not. That's the only thing. Should we find out?
I think he has, yeah.
Yeah, he has. Not what he would have been wanting to see, but it's been a bit of a write-off this evening, to be fair. But points are still being awarded at least, and hopefully in 2 weeks' time, when we've recuperated and got back to normal in Qatar, it'll be a lot better. Right, this battle between P2 and P3 is still heating up. Apologies to obviously the people that was expecting a decent stream today. Unfortunately, it has been ruined by trolls and you name it. It's not our normal lively self. It is such a shame it's happened, but the show must go on. We've got 10 laps of racing left to go, and then it'll be mine and AFL's final message for the week, and then we will see you again in 2 weeks' time from very hot Qatar. It'll be the first. So next week's our first of 4 break weeks, but break weeks 3 and 4 are consistent. Break weeks are scheduled around because nobody else has access to my Twitch channel. It is literally just me that can access it. And during the 2-week break period, I am away in Greece. So we've got a break week followed by a double header. Then we have got a 2-week gap, and then it is a non-stop dash to the finish. 15 rounds separate these drivers between them and being the very first SRL champion. I can't wait to see who's going to win this. AFL, I'm pretty sure you've seen some stuff on track already where it's, I like the look of that and they've got potential.
Yeah, there's been a few indications, but I'm going to keep those sort of predictions close to my chest. Yeah, we're seeing some title contenders here, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be you know what I really hope? I really hope it's going to be a battle right the way to the very end.
Yeah, in an ideal world, that's what it would be nice. It would be nice for that to happen. But yeah, let's just wait and see how it goes. But so far, so good.
It's going to be an interesting race to the final, I think. I'd love a championship battle at Las Vegas, to be fair. It'll be interesting for sure. Dean is still trying to get round Phantom Nug. Phantom Nug is trying to hold on to P2.
They're both burning through their ERS as well, so they are trying to make inroads.
Baby Driver's picked up a 3-second time penalty. I don't think he's going to be too fussed at this point, so long as he doesn't DNF, he'll still be getting a point at least. That's what I think is going to be in all of these drivers' minds at the minute. Just finish the race. But it is still nice and spaced out between drivers. The main battle at the moment is between Phantom Nug and Dean Pryor. A big thank you to the drivers that have stayed to race. obviously I know a few of the drivers that obviously have left the session already because time is just ticking on. It's 10 to 10. It's 10 to 10 p.m. at time of recording this at the moment, and it's just been a non-stop. I can't say what I was going to say because it's not polite. But I think you guys can all figure out what it is that I was going to say. But we've persevered. The boys that have raced and girls that have raced, because we have got 2 girls in the session today as well, just proving that they can do what the men can do as well, which is always good to see. Obviously racing is for everyone, it's not just for the men. But it's been a good session so far for what we've got left. We've got through the riffraff. But hopefully next week it'll be better. Jess picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Obviously, the top 5 at the moment don't have any penalties. The bottom 5, on the other hand, do. Let's see how many penalties they've got between them. So, Mighty Atom's got 8, Mark's got 6, Wee Rabby's got 14, Jess has got 3, and Baby Driver's got 6. So, it's going to be interesting to see where everybody actually finishes off this evening. What's your thoughts so far, mate? What Petty for your thoughts?
Dan is gone, literally. He's literally in a
league of his own.
I'm going to say in a league of his own, but he's in a race of his own at the moment. He's kept it clean. He got a great start. He's called everything perfect with the strategy. And yeah, he's reaping the benefits of that good race. I think we're going to have an overtake again, possibly for P2, P3, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a battle for Peter. We've jumped on board at the right time as we see Dean and Phantom Nug go for the battle. Dean gets the overtake into turn 1. He makes it look easy, but Phantom Nug is going to go, no, I want that position back. It is going to be the battle for P2 at the moment, as Phantom Nug has a bit of a spin, but keeps it under control, but burns through his ERS. Dean's got that, he's got the advantage.
Yeah, and obviously these guys have to be careful as well. With penalties, they may have been pushing a little bit, so we don't want them to lose any positions, because Merman in P4 isn't too far away.
A wild execute appears catch it using
hard tyres.
So
yeah, he could be in with a shout of a podium if these guys make any sort of mistakes up top.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is a 5-way battle technically for P1 at the moment. Wesley will be desperately trying to catch up. Wesley is our current championship leader. Obviously, he's been freshly promoted to Mercedes, along with his teammate Phantom Nug. They are the new Mercedes boys, because unfortunately the last 2 have left. And obviously, if they are watching, boys, if you do want to come back, the door is always open. But it's completely up to you if you do decide to come back. Atom, a driver that normally his luck is up and down like a yo-yo, is sitting quite comfortably in P6 at the moment. He does have penalties, but it's always good to see Atom doing well. Mark Wilson, the current Tier 4/5 CRL champion, currently tooting along in 7th. Wee Rabby, another CRL driver that's kindly come along to get SRL off the ground. Big thank you to him for constantly coming to show his support and love. He's in currently P8. The reserve driver, Jess, she's come out of her way. She came out of her way to make sure she got back in time for events that she was attending today, to make sure she was racing. She currently is reserving for Ferrari and is currently P9. And Baby Driver, who's new to E-League racing himself, he's currently P10 at the moment and still tooting along quite mostly. Jenkins, the new Formula 1 driver who deliberately went out of his way to buy the game to be here today. Unfortunately, he's called it a day. Angie, the full-time Haas driver who finally managed to get here for her first race of the season. She's had to call it early today. Heavily Horizon, similar thing to him. And Severe Scott unfortunately got DSQ'd.
Escaped. No one caught it.
Obviously, hopefully we've got a lot more of our full-time drivers back, obviously, for Qatar. But I'll tell you who is coming for his first race of the season in round 3, mate.
Who's that?
It is the one and only Mr. CRL Freefall, who finally makes his way to the grid at long last. Atom's teammate, he makes his way to the grid after break week 1. So while we've got some good boys here already contending for the title, are they ready for freefall? That's the question. Well, obviously, we've seen him race before. Obviously, we know what he's capable of in Tier 3.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he can continue what he's doing in Tier 3 in SRL. But it's been, from what these boys and girls have put on this evening, it's been a good race, despite the many hiccups we've had this evening. It's been tame. We've had a few bumps and bruises, but eventually, we got underway.
Mm-hmm. And that's the main thing.
Obviously, I do hope you guys can join us, not at the same time next in 2 weeks' time. It will be from 8 PM as always on the Twitch channel, where we will be live from Guitar, the new track for the game, and where we go looking to find our next winner. At the moment, Dan sitting very comfortably in P1. He looks to become the winner of the very first SRL Portugal Grand Prix with just 4 laps left to go. Dean is still having a bit of a battle. Jess has moved out the way to let Dean pass, but I tell you what, who is still keeping Dean for company is Phantom Nug. Merman is in the distance. Can he catch up? And Wesley is desperately trying to catch up as well. It's been a good race, though. I'm happy to the guys that have stayed and still put on the show.
Yeah, at least we've managed to get the race done as well. Just because we had those hiccups at the start and it was looking quite bad. But obviously, fair play to the drivers that have all stayed. And yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah,
massively. I know we've got 4 laps to go, but I am going to award my driver to the day. The 14 drivers that came back, plus Bracey, because Bracey unfortunately had to go. So everyone today has been my driver of the day, regardless. Personally,
yeah,
I don't know if you agree with me or not.
Yeah, I second that.
And it is because you guys have put up with a lot tonight, and we've asked a lot from you. The session was very nearly completely disbanded, but you guys have still put on a show, and honestly, from the bottom of my heart, honestly, thank you so much for putting on today's show. If you're watching this back, you don't know how much it means to me. I'm sorry I've not been in the best of moods when it comes to comms in this evening. I think anybody, I know you're in a similar mood to what I am at the minute, AFL. Obviously, when we've not been streaming, obviously we've had a bit of a word between the takes. But honestly, from everybody at SRL, from the admin team, from the steward team, to the comms team, thank you to everybody that has watched this evening, and thank you to the drivers that have raced this evening, or attempted to race, apart from the ones that tried to ruin it. Oh, it's got to be said, mate. I'm sorry, it's got to be said. But it's like with the person that messaged me via Discord. He messaged me an apology, admitting to it, hid his name so I couldn't see who it was, but I didn't want to hear it, if I'm honest. Mark Wilson goes fastest with a 1 minute 18. He'll be happy about that despite being down in P18. No, I just realised Mark Wilson's
P8.
Oh, is it P8?
You said P18.
Does it P18? Oh, this is what I'm saying, mate. By now, it's normally time for bed, mate. I've normally got my slippers on. I've normally read my paper. I've watched a bit of American Dad, and I'm cuddled up with Jess watching American Dad at this point. Currently binge watching it all at the moment. I've not watched it in years. We've agreed to sit there and binge watch it all. Just for Roger the Alien, it's got to be done.
Roger in his famous disguises.
Oh, I love it. I'm waiting for the episode. I've told Jess about it, where all of Roger's disguises appear in one episode.
Wow.
It's literally, it basically breaks the multiverse. It's just one episode where Roger's personas all like harass the Smith family. It's great. It's in a most recent season. Well, I stopped watching it for years, so it's like, you know what, I want to give them all a watch. We are going to go on board now with Dan, as he pretty much learns the last 2 corners, and he'll be starting the last lap for us. It hasn't been the most entertaining of races today. It has been an extremely long evening today, but we are now on lap 33 of 33, and Dan is on pole to get the first. He won pre-season, didn't he? But he didn't win last race. He is on for his first win in main season. You've got the Alfa Romeo of Wee Rabbi pulling out the way. Love that sportsmanship. Dan is now hunting down the Red Bull, I believe, of Mark Wilson to let him past as well. It's been beautifully done by Dan. He has gone for a Sunday drive. McLaren will be happy. It's a win with the most difficult of circumstances. One last big shout out that I want to do before we round off this race. I want to give a massive shout out to my Jess. She's gone above and beyond this evening when it comes to the little and behind the scenes. She's done fantastically behind as well. So it's honestly, thank you everyone this evening. You've all been, and to you AFL, just to everyone, to be fair. Danielle, I know you're watching. Bracey, I know you're watching. Anyone that's come to support us today, honestly, thank you so much. But this race can only be won by one driver. He comes round the last corner to take victory in Portimao. The winner of the very first SRL Portuguese Grand Prix is Dan 94 PL. We now jump on board with the runner-up from today's session. He looks to still be quite in contention. Dean in the Williams will come in on P2, and Phantom Nug comes home in P3. Merman, who by the looks of it may have to answer to a couple of incidents this evening, he will bring it home in P4. The other Silver Arrow brings it home in P5, who just rounds the last couple of corners now. He comes round the last corner. Mighty Atom, I believe the majority of the drivers have now finished their race, to be fair. Wesley comes home in 5th. I think there's Mighty Atom in 6th, who's still yet to cross, and Baby Driver will bring it in. Mark Wilson will come home in 7th. Wee Rabbi will come home in 8th. Jess comes home in 9th, and Baby Driver, despite all the penalties, will still bring it home in 10th for a point. It's been an interesting race, AFL, today.
Yeah. But yeah, glad we managed to get through it. Obviously, the 10 remaining drivers will get points as well. So yeah, I'm happy for those guys.
It's been good. Merriman's been given driver of the day today. To be fair, everyone's been given, in my opinion, driver of the day today. It's been an extremely long session. Obviously, the steward's office is now open. But it's it's been a long one. We got there. We did get there. That's the main thing. AFL, we're gonna have our final word in a minute after we get obviously all the racing stuff that we need, obviously, so I can put it onto the updated Formula 1 graphic. But yeah. So just to cap things off then, Dan will take victory in Portugal and for McLaren P1, Dean P2, Phantom Nug P3, Merriman P4, Wesley P5, Mighty Atom P6, Mark Wilson 7th, Wee Rabbi in 8th, Jess in 9th, and Baby Driver brings home for the point winners in P10. Like I said, a big thank you to everyone that has raced this evening. I know it hasn't been the easiest of races, but honestly, like I said, from the bottom of my heart, people that are watching, thank you. Honestly, this evening, it is, you don't know how much I genuinely mean that. AFL, your final thought of the day before we round things off.
Yeah, it's obviously it's difficult to sound not deflated. Obviously, we would have liked to have got this race done earlier. But no, it's just more of just gratitude to everybody that managed to stick through it, really. So yeah, my final words are just thank you to everybody tonight. The viewers, the racers, everybody tonight, the commentators, the people behind the scenes, just thank you to everybody for their patience and hard work this evening. Yeah,
I couldn't have put it better myself. it's the same for me, honestly. Thank you to all the drivers that have attempted to drive tonight. You put up with a lot of stuff this evening. It is just gone 10. My final thought of the evening from that race. If you want to join SRL and you want to race, it's not hard to ask. We do take reserves. At the moment, reserves is currently closed, but when the positions do become available, there will be an announcement. So if you want to race in SRL, you can join the server, but don't be impatient. Because if you are, and what happens again, I just won't let you race in our league. It's as simple as that. But to you, AFL, to my Jess, to Danielle, and to all the drivers that have raced well this evening, we will be back in 2 weeks' time for the Qatar Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to it. AFL, I'm sure you're looking forward to it, and I'm sure all the drivers that do race for SRL are looking forward to it. So I'm going to round things off here. I've been CRL Spider 95. My good friend and co-commentator has been AFL 1994, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time at 8 PM for the Qatar Grand Prix. Thank you and good night.